Right, afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How are we?
Good.
Good,
Yeah.
good.
I'm still good. We won't let our listeners know that we've done 2 recordings this afternoon.
We're still going.
We are
still going. Cool. So yeah, today's subject, I think, should be, or we're going to talk about horse walking.
Yeah.
I know it doesn't seem like it's a big topic, but I tend to think it is, especially for our sort of beginner handlers, lower grades.
Yeah.
I think course walking can be a stressful thing, and also I think there's an art to it sometimes. I know people have their different ways of picturing courses and doing courses, but I think there's an art to course walking. So I just thought it would be good for us to put something out there, maybe give a few tips out how we do things on course walking. And I think for me, especially with the beginner levels, when they're course walking, I get a lot from my clients saying, I was course walking, then I overheard somebody say something about this thing here and I didn't know what it was, and then I got all confused, and I just tried to say to them that you just need to try where possible to zone those people out. Don't listen to what anybody else is talking about, because they might have a different word for the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. It's a different cue, isn't it, for a different skill? Yeah.
So just stick to what you know, and if you do have to ask anybody's advice, ask somebody that you know. And potentially, hopefully, somebody that trains with you or knows you and your dog as well makes it.
And I think that's a really important statement, that it's about you and your dog. So me and you might do something completely different because one of us has a skill that's better than the other.
Or your dog doesn't know that thing yet.
No. And one of the days when grade 1 and 2 dogs have straight up, straight down courses. We now see jump skills on baby dog courses, don't we?
Which is another
that's another topic.
Another subject. Another subject. But I just think course walking, like I say, that try not to listen or watch too many other people unless you know who they are.
You've got a client in front of you. What's the first thing that you tell them to do? And we'll see if we're the same thing.
For course walking, but the first thing I say to everybody is find the numbers.
Yeah, me too.
Forget what's going on. Forget what the obstacle is. Forget what turn it is. Forget whatever that is. Just find out the numbers. Make sure there's 1 to 10 or 1 to 20 or 1 to whatever that is. And then I generally say, after that, I then try and find out where I'm going to change sides on that course. So I follow the numbers. Again, forgetting what the obstacles are at the moment, just where you go from left hand to right hand to left hand, whatever that is. And then on my third one round, I then start to add in my potential handling maneuvers of what they are. And then what I do personally, which is again just probably something that I do, I then step away from the course, get back to where number 1 is, and I'll stand at number 1 and I just start to picture the course a little bit more. So I know where all they are, where the numbers are.
Yeah, I think that's very important. So I do stand back, but I stand back kind of when I finish my decision making, but my brain questions me. So I go for muscle memory. So I actually physically walk what I want to walk and repeat and everything, because that's how it's better goes.
So I do that on the spot at number 1.
See,
I walk the course on so I walk the course on one spot and I walk it in there. And then what I can do then is if I get to a spot where I go right 10 and then I go, what was after 10, I've got a chance to look up and go, right, 11 was the A frame. Okay, I can carry on. And then if it's the same spot that I get stuck on, I tend to go, well, that's the spot I need to look at. Or
make questions. And I always tell people, don't make your first choice your definite choice.
No, absolutely not.
Something that I've used quite recently, which has been really, really helpful to people, is that when you stand on the start line with your dog, you should know where you're going. So when they've used images like you and kind of gone through it in your head, or physically moving like me, because I prefer muscle memory, you need to know what steps you're going to take when, so you can show your dog. And so many people, and this is through no fault of their own, and we all used to do it, you know, they will do what they want to do, but they'll forget to lead their dog with them. So it's kind of like, if you walk away from that course and you don't actually, or you think, oh, I can't remember that bit, or I'm just going to forget this, that you haven't walked it enough for you.
I agree. You should be able to walk out and you should be able to sort of picture it or run it from wherever you are at that
lead
point.
role in a dance partnership. That's what you know, you are doing a dance with your dog and you have to take the lead role.
And I sometimes say to some of my clients, especially the beginner ones, that if you're walking a course and you're finding it a little bit overwhelming, a little bit confusing, or you're not sure, just pick a section that you need to get to or you want to get to, and then that's enough. So if you only get to number 10, that's absolutely fine. Remember to 10 and then leave. It doesn't matter. You don't have to finish the whole course off. So practice walking half the course and just getting that half in, and then the second half, and then hopefully over a period of time you'll get used to course walking.
I probably go for like a 4, and this is very technical and I've got decisions to make. I'll probably go for a 4 course walk, so 5 minutes, see where I've got to change sides, what skills, make a decision, walk it again to get my muscle memory in, and do picture my dog, and then I step away, and like you, I kind of do, and if there's any but, I go back in.
And sometimes I might, you know, you leave and then you're walking away and you go, actually I need to go and have a look at that again, and then I'll nip back and have another look at it, especially if it's like a champ thing or whatever. Oh my
god, it's so easy to over course walk, isn't it? I never so my graded classes and my combined classes, I never over course walk them. I just walk them.
No, do it. And that's another, I think that's another thing for us. I think course walking time, the time that is allowed to walk courses a lot of the time, I think is too much.
Yeah, I do. If I have to walk a course over lunch, you can guarantee I'll get eliminated on it because I've over.
I mean, I know they have to have a lunch break and stuff, so you can have that period, but generally, I was talking to somebody about this the other day and saying I think there should be, and again we're adding in rules to already a overcomplicated thing, but there should be a certain thing. So like for grade 1 to 3, they get like a 15-minute course walking, and that's it, you know. And then a grade 4 to 5, you get 10 minutes, and if you're in 6 to 7, you get 8 minutes, and that's your course walking.
I love it when you've got, and I see this a fair bit now, and probably you do as well, where you've got all heights the same class. So they do like a major course walk on large, say, and then you get 10 minutes. Because you know, it makes you shift your ass as well. It does make you think, right, okay, I'm going to walk that on large so that I can make my decision, and it just keeps the ring moving. Lovely, doesn't it?
And I think though, I think when you've got too much course walking time, I think you start to put things in there that actually aren't in there. You start to overanalyze.
Self-doubt comes in, so particularly with inexperience, you know, not even low grades, so you know it's very easy to not easy to win up the grades, but you can be going to small shows, so you've got inexperienced people walking technical courses. It's very easy to overwalk, it's very easy to self-doubt, you know, when I'm teaching like my groups and that, and probably you do the same, is somebody will say to me, oh well, I've walked that and it depends what my dog does, and I'm like, this isn't about your dog. You are the lead role. You need to make a decision for your dog. And well, they're not going to make. Then I'm not going to make that. I'm not going to do that. Well, there's no point in standing there and going to do a dance that you can't do.
Yeah. And also, like I look at it from like in a training session, whether it be a 1-to-1 or a group session, whatever. I give mine like 2 or 3 minutes maybe to walk something.
Yeah,
and they all cope okay.
Yeah.
So why do you need half an hour? Why do you need half an hour? Yeah. Why do you need half an hour when you go to a show, when you turn up at training, you only have like 3 or 4 minutes to walk something, and then you're
I was really fussy today because have I told you I'm going on holiday? Have I mentioned that yet? But I was like, come on, we need to get on. I want to be packed up by 12. I'm on holiday.
I just think that sometimes I think that adding that little bit of time pressure makes people concentrate a little bit more. Well, it's when it kind of replicates the pressure that you have at a competition as well, isn't it? And I think that's when we get to, you do the different events that we do, the bigger events, the international events, the Olympias and stuff, when you only get 6 to 8 minutes or whatever to walk a course anyway.
Yeah.
So you know, it's definitely something that I think in the earlier stages you need to start adding that time pressure in.
And I think it's hard, particularly if you've gone to a big show and you get like bottlenecks, don't you? So you can't see, you know, even experienced
But remember when we used to have like 300 people walking a course at once, and now we've got, you know, if we're lucky, we've got 50 people in a big class. But I mean, when I first started, when there were novice classes like the grade 3 to 5s, were split into 4 different parts, and there was like 1,000 dogs, you know.
I know, and I think that's just to show. I was reminiscing the other day about UKA shows, and I remember going to like quad fours and walking the beginner steeplechase with her, and kind of being very inexperienced, but there would be, like you say, like 150 dogs in that course.
And people are walking it, and you know, and so now we've only like 20, 30, 40 people in the court.
Why have we got low numbers, do you think?
Why have we got low numbers? Too many shows.
Sorry, that wasn't relevant to course walking. Sorry,
that was just off there. But that's another topic. Another topic we can add to the list. But yeah, course walking. I just think there's I think people over stress about it. It's not as difficult as you think it is, and I think that a lot of the problems is that I think people try and watch and listen to too many people on the course instead of making their own decisions.
And also, I think we have a culture, a human culture, not necessarily agility. You know, we touch on social media. Everybody's watching everybody else. And people are aware of other people, so they're frightened of making the wrong decision, frightened of making the dog go wrong, and it doesn't matter, you know. I had a conversation with someone today over totally something different, and I'm like, it doesn't matter. It's agility. It's not changing. It's not just, please go and, you know, do your best. We're all competitive. Go, like you say, walk your course. Find the way your memory works. Everybody's brain is different. Everybody has an awareness now that everybody's brain is different. So some people remember routines. Some people remember.
Some people write it down, don't they? They draw it. They, you know,
videoing nowadays, and nothing is wrong. What works for you works for you. You and your dog. The decisions you make on a course are for you and your dog. It's the right for you and your dog, and nothing else matters. Nothing else matters. You know. It's just...
and if in doubt, wing wrap. That's what I say. If you don't know what turn to do, just wing wrap it. It'll be fine.
If in doubt, wing wrap. I've not heard of that one before.
Doesn't matter. As long as you put a wing wrap in, you'll be fine.
Yeah. Let's see if you know my wing wrap's not very good. My dog bangs.
I think sometimes, like I say, when people are walking courses, they're putting things in that maybe they haven't tried yet. Maybe they haven't learned properly yet. Maybe they're just teaching that, and they look at it going, "Oh, I think I could do a thread of wrap here." Not if you haven't done it yet.
No, or done it at speed, or done it.
So maybe choose a different option, you know, and you go, wow, Don's doing a thread of wrap there. Well, what is it?
It's I sometimes I'll make decisions. So I'll have 2 decisions. So I did my I took Nairobi to the Olympia qualifier last weekend. If I'm honest, I wasn't in it hard enough to want it. So I think the nerves hadn't kicked in, and that said to me, I don't want this enough this year. And I think that was basically because I had a lot of other stuff going on, a lot of priorities for her. She's a young dog. She had a whole life ahead of her. She kind of won her qualifier almost by accident. So, you know, and I'm already there for pairs. So it was one of those situations where, of course I wouldn't turn it down. Of course I wouldn't. I got there and I was walking the course and suddenly I felt nervous. I was like, oh God, I feel nervous now. And there was a weave set up. It was Ryan, what's his name? Ryan
Hennessy.
Ryan Hennessy's course. Really lovely weave set up. Well, a really challenging weave set up. So they had a tunnel to a blind dog walk entrance. And so it was right-handed weave entrance, and then they had a turn away the other side. You had to decide whether to blind or rear cross out of the weaves and come up the other side. So I had two options. So I haven't trained a lot of weave scenarios over the last year. So what I tend to do is in the summer, I compete at agility, but train gun dog ready for the winter. And then in the winter, I train agility. I don't compete at gun dog, but I'll take her out in that. So that way I try and get a good balance. So I have done that flick away of the weaves, but I hadn't done it for a long time. So I knew that if I'd screwed up, so I walked both and kind of didn't really decide what I was going to do. And my safest option was the blind. I knew it was. And she hit the weave entry, really lovely, but I didn't decelerate. So she then went in the third. So I kind of knew it was game over. So then I decided to try the rear, just because it didn't matter, So it didn't work. She back weaved, and I'm like, okay, that gives me a little bit of winter training. But it's also nice to be in a position where winning doesn't matter. Which is hard because I know we're all competitive, but it's sometimes more about like trying different things as well, isn't it?
So when you walk in the course, having a couple of different options. But I try and say, have the options that you can do. And then when you've practiced the other ones enough, then we can start to add them in, and then then accept the fact that they might not work. And try not. I think another bit of good advice that I give beginners is try not to go, and that is a frustration on themselves. It's not, but the dog feels it. No, and if I was chatting to you and I just went, you'd be like, what have I done? I'm used to that now.
Sure, But dogs are so sensitive to that. And, I've had dogs that I work with in my problem-solving group where the owner will just get so frustrated for themselves and they'll go, no, like that. And they're just saying it to themselves. The dog, no matter what I do, won't take that jump.
No.
So it's kind of like, I guess my advice for, inexperienced people is, like you say, find your numbers. Memorize, make sure that when you walk away you know where you're going, have a couple of options if you need to, but kind of have it set in your head, that's what I'm going to do. Good options, like depends where I am, that's a good one. And then go and guide your dog around the course the best way possible, because you and your dog are doing the very best you can.
100%. And also, I think the other big tip for me is not to take any advice from anybody that you haven't asked for advice from. That's the thing for me as well. So especially in the the beginner stuff, because everybody likes to help each other out a little bit, don't they?
And I'm really guilty. So I don't very often advise people on how to walk courses. I kind of try and advise people on how they're thinking, because I think, God, you're just going to talk yourself out of it. You're just listening. And sometimes I've tried to give advice and I'm worse for it, Stuart, and I shouldn't, and I've stopped because I'm like, I don't need your advice, I don't want this, I don't want that, and actually all I want to do is I want the best for people. So I've learned, like you say, not to give advice unless you're asked for it. And
so like I do have a lot of people sometimes, and I'm the same. Like I will walk a course and I'll look for somebody that I trust and know and go, can you just have a look at this to make sure I'm doing?
You were competing against me, I'll tell you the wrong way.
That's why I make sure I ask the people that I know are going to give me an honest answer. And the person that I ask the most is Becky, to be fair.
Stacey and I bounce off
always, and I because she knows me and Riggs more than anybody else. So she knows, and then she usually turns around and goes, I don't know, do whatever.
But
it's your dog. But generally, she's the one that I will look for and say, right, can you just have a quick look at this for me?
And she's going to say,
and I think sometimes I already know the answer.
Yeah.
But I just need somebody to go yes or no.
Yeah.
And then if she says no, I'll do it anyway. And then I get eliminated, and then she'll go, I told you.
Sure, I feel like we're waffling.
But so that was, I think, we'll sort of drift off a little bit there. But yeah, course
Walk
walking.
your course, remember your course.
So the three biggest tips are numbers first for me, then think about your change of sides, left or right-handed, whichever side you're on. Then third walk will be your handling, whatever handling you're going to put in. And then number 4 is memorize it so you can walk away and you can tell somebody what the course is.
On the start line.
Yeah.
And the only thing you should be thinking about is you and your amazing dog that are doing the very best for you.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Good.
Perfect.
See you later.
Right, see you later. We'll leave everybody with that one. See you later.